Great day, dear ones. As we know that many companies and institutes are making group discussion as the first criteria for screening the candidates for face-to-face interviews. There is a reason for this huge importance for group discussion. The first thing is it is used for mass elimination. And the second thing on group discussion is the selection criteria are based on actual company's requirements. So in a group discussion, the you are they are going to assess your ability to work in a team, your communication skills, the way you're able to question or you're able to reason out, and the way you're going to read the team, how you're able to initiate a process, how you're assertive and you're able to establish yourself, how far you're flexible, how far you are creative, your observation skills, your body language, and how far spontaneously you're able to give your points and participate in the group discussion. So, being different is going to be the success mantra for your discussion. To ensure good participation from your side, there are a number of points that you need to concentrate and address. Trust that these tips will surely help you to be successful, and be sure that you listen throughout the session carefully for being successful. So, initially, we are going to have an example of a question based topic. Is India equipped for online education? So, with this topic, we are going to see how you are going to lead the group discussion with different aspects to make you more different and more effective during the process of the discussion. What are going to be the contents which you are going to discuss? How you are going to initiate? What during the body of the discussion, what are the different aspects we are going to concentrate? How we are going to summarize and conclude the discussion? So initially, you will be given time to prepare yourself. So when the time is given, you're going to decide on what role you're going to play and how you're going to participate, and what are the different aspects you're going to concentrate while you are in a discussion. So initially, you're planning to initiate a discussion. So when you are going to initiate a discussion, it is going to be a very challenging job. Either it is going to give you more points, or it might serve as a block for you. So when you are going to start, your confidence level will be tested here. So it is very hard when you are with other members who are very new to you, and when you are watched by a panel of other members who are going to assess you. So with this, you need more confidence when you are planning to initiate the discussion. So you can make a favorable first impression when you are going to initiate the discussion. But remember that you are going to have number of points which are going to be very clear, confident, and you are going to be audible. You are going to quote the right facts and figures during your discussion. Only with this backup, you're going to have the confidence to initiate the process. And you should be able to contribute throughout the session. Remember that the initial point you're giving should lead you throughout the discussion, and till the last you have to be a good participant, a lively participant. When you start a GD, you are responsible for putting it into the right perspective or framework. So with this topic, is India equipped for online education? You can just give the other members an idea of how we are going to deal with the discussion and what are the main points you are going to discuss during the discussion. Okay, so initiate only if you have an in-depth knowledge about the topic at hand. So this topic is a very broad topic, and you can have ample number of points to discuss. So you have decided to initiate the discussion, and you have seen the points how you're going to initiate and what are the benefits when you are initiating a discussion. Second, the body of the discussion. So during the discussion, how you are going to make your points more effective, and what are the different aspects which is going to make you more vibrant in the group. So initially, when you're given the time, you go in for a mind mapping with the topic statement. So the topic question is given to you: is India equipped? So with your mind map, you're going to select some subtopics on how this topic is going to be discussed. the mind map of all the possible subtopics the members could speak about. What are the other subtopics the members can speak about with India? So what are the technological improvements, what are the other achievements we have gone through, and how far we have equipped each and every village, or whether we are trying to equip. All these can be jotted down as points in your mind map. You have to just not only give the subtopics, write down the subtopics, but you have to assess and analyze how far it will be relevant to the topic. Next, the functional language. Since we are going to communicate in English and not in our native language, we have to have a hold on the vocabulary and the phrases which we are going to use during the discussion. That is why it is known as functional language. So when you're going to give a reason or give your opinion, when you're going to agree or disagree, what are the different phrases which you'll be using? If you are able to write it down, it will be very helpful for you throughout the process of the discussion. Next, quotes. What do you mean by quotes? Quotes are something which are uttered by people who are reputed. So you cannot make your own alterations when you are using quotes. When it is used sparingly, quotes can inspire your group, and it can also give more points to ponder on. So always make sure you are familiar with the quote. So don't give anything on your own, but you have to be familiar with the quote and give the words as it is given by the person by whom it was given. And you should be able to paraphrase it. You should be able to give out the meaning of the quote and how far it is relevant to the topic. So when you are going to ponder on this question based topic, you can give the definition of education and the definition of the quotes on technology, or the quotes of Vivekananda or Abdul Kalam ji. So for the giving the importance of education, you can use these, and you better sprinkle these quotes as a seasoning so that you will be creating a good impact. So you should not be basing your discussion on this quotes, but just use it as a seasoning. Just you make it more flavorable. Next, definition. How far definitions are useful in a discussion? So you have to briefly define all important terms and concepts. So when you are speaking about equipping equipment of a nation, so what are the different aspects? How far we have equipped? What is the system we are using already? So what was the system which was followed, and what is the system we are trying to follow now? And how far we have improved in a very short period of time to face the new scenario. This will help ensure the participants aren't talking past one another. So you will not get out of the topic when you are able to have some definitions and state the author's general point in your own words, and often remember that there will be some ineffective point which you feel ineffective with, that are not very obvious, but they will be giving you more impact. So just give the underlying meaning of all the things which can be discussed during to make the discussion more vibrant. Next, body of the discussion can be made more effective through facts, figures, and statistics. So, with this topic, you can naturally give how many people are having their mobile phones, and how many villages are equipped with internet facilities. What is the statistical report? How many students are there in the secondary level or in the primary level, and how far they will be able to accept the technology, and what will be the impact of using online education among these people. All these can be discussed with your statistics. It will be making the session more interesting with your facts and figures, and make sure you quote them accurately. So approximation is allowed only when you are going to give a macro level figure, but when you're going to discuss on micro level figures, you have to be correct and accurate. So this is going to, when you are very accurate, it is going to give you an advantageous standpoint in your discussion. Next, generalizations. Use a general statement to put the VGD in a proper perspective. So you can have a general statement about India's technological development. So how far we have technically grown, and how far we will be able to cater to the population when we are going to take up online education as a system of education. This will help us reach the conclusion in a more objective and effective manner without giving our own subjective views. Okay, next question. You're going to ask questions. So, the asking questions will not only create something or not only instigate the other members to give more points or think on what how they are going to give the points. It will also help the discussion to be more effective. So just don't be asking questions to make others feel embarrassed or hamper the flow of the discussion, but remember, when you're asking a question, you should be able to answer the question you have asked. Asking a question is an impact way of starting a GD. It does not signify asking a question to any of the candidates in a GD so as to hamper the flow. It implies asking a question and answering it yourself. Questions that promote a flow of ideas are always appreciated. So you remember that when you are asking a question, it is going to lead the discussion in a proper way, in the proper channel. Okay, you can use a short story for how people are able to get the internet or access the facilities, and how they are able to grow in knowledge when they are using. You can use any short story or anecdotes. You can use a shock statement saying that so many people are deprived of internet facilities. All these can be used for an impact. So finally, you're going to summarize and conclude. How you're going to summarize and conclude? When you are running out of time and when you have reached the right time to conclude and to wind up your discussion. A conclusion is where the whole group decides in favor or against the topic. Either you will be able to answer it for or against. So every GD has to be summarized. So without a summarization, you cannot come to a conclusion. You can summarize what the group has discussed in a group discussion in a nutshell. So you're going to be very precise and you are going to be very short when you're going to conclude, when you're going to summarize all the points which are discussed. So let us keep in mind all these following points when you're going to summarize the discussion. Summarize only the points discussed. Don't introduce any new points when you are summarizing. And share the viewpoints of importance shared by all the members, not only by you. So when you are having so many points, you have to specify the person and say that these were the important points shared by this member of the group. And you have to elaborate on all the essential aspects, the subtopics you have discussed, right? You must have used so many subtopics and how far it was relevant to lead the discussion. You can elaborate on those points. Remember that you're going to keep your summarization brief and concise, and it must incorporate all the important points that came out during the discussion. It should be an incorporation of all the points and how far it was helpful for you all to derive the conclusion. And if the examiner asks you to summarize the GD, it means the GD has come to an end. So you're going to give a proper concluding statement which will make the other members understand that the group discussion has come to an end. So with these points, I believe that you will be able to give an effective participation on your side and gain more points and gain more reputation in a group which you are working in. All the best. Thank you.